What's going on, everyone? It's Arneezy here. I've never done one of these kinds of videos before, like a reaction videos or things like that. So, pardon me and things like that. So, it's March 30th, and about 45 minutes before this recording, the April 2016 PlayStation Plus has been revealed. The games that are going to be free for the month of April starting next Tuesday, April 5th. And everybody knew that Dead Star was going to be a free PS4 game. Dead Star it's going to be a newly released game that is coming out next Tuesday, and it's a top-down space shooter with some RPG influences, things like that. And Zombie is the next PS4 game, which for those of you that are familiar with the Wii U, it was actually a launch title for the Wii U when the Wii U first came out. PS3 games are Savage Moon and I Am Alive, and the Vita games are A Virus Named Tom and Sashimi. Now, the my what do I think of these? Meh is all I can say, and that's what I've been feeling for many months. Especially when it comes to PS4. Uh, you know, in my opinion, a lot of people are very angry with Sony right now. They have been for many months, and I decided to pull up uh, the the list of games that have been PlayStation Plus games for past few years and compare it to what we've been having as of late. So as of late on the PS4 side, for the past couple months, we have had Galaxy, Broforce. Broforce is a very fun game to play. Don't get me wrong. Helldivers, Nom Nom Galaxy, Grim Fandango Remaster, which is not bad. It was pretty fun. King's Quest that came out, you know, in December as a PlayStation Plus game for PS4. It wasn't even the full game. It was just the first chapter because it's an episodic game. They couldn't even give us like the season pass for it or something like that. Gauntlet, Slayer Edition, Magica 2, boring as hell games. There was also other ones like Tesla Grad, Zen Drifter, what is this here? Zeo Drifter, Stealth Inc. 2. Now there are some indie games that came out that are actually good, during that time, or smaller games, things like that. Limbo, Soundscapes is pretty interesting. Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris. I enjoy the 2D isometric type things there and things like that. Uh, Grim Fandango remastered, uh, Super Meat Boy. Those were pretty fun games. Things like that. Now, with and it's been but and as far as a lot of people are upset because Sony hasn't been really offering much for the PS4 in terms of free games and things like that. The last good game that PS4 had as a PlayStation Plus free title was Rocket League, and that was back in July of 2015. That was that was you know almost a year ago. That was the last, and so a lot of people are mad because that these games that have been coming out haven't been like full priced AAA titles that has came out. The last time a a game that was more than $20 or so that came out on the PS4. Let's see here. Was Injustice: God Among Us Ultimate Edition. At the time, it was like $40, and it was free on in December. Now, you know, that was December 2014. That was quite a while ago. Things like that. Don't get me wrong. There have been some pretty good games that came out. Transistor for PS4. Uh, since Injustice. Transistor. Ollie Ollie 2 is pretty fun actually. Uh, Guacamelee Turbo Super Championship Edition, but that was already free on Xbox One before. Uh, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes was not bad. Things like that. Even though it's short, but that's why it was free. Uh, Rocket League, of course, was fun. But compared to what it was years ago versus what it is now, it just seems like a lot of people are saying that PlayStation, Sony's not caring much, and I could see why people are angry. I'm pretty mad at them myself because we're paying either $18 for 3 months or $50 for a year, you know, to get indie titles. We understand where money goes to, but Sony should do something as to give back to the fans. That's what I'm saying. Now, what I would like Sony to do is go back to the what it used to be back in 2012. What started in June of 2012 was the Instant Game Collection, where they gave out 12 games for both PS3 and Vita every single month, and it was like a rotational thing. Every few weeks, new games will come out instead of now where it's once a month. But let me just break it down here for all the games that came out before the one game a month thing. So what we have here, I could just name off some pretty good ones. Let's see here. All right. So, Little Big Planet 2, Outland, King of Fighters 13, Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition, Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, Retro City Rampage, Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, Demon Souls, Sleeping Dogs, Deus Ex Human Revolution, Uncharted 3, Jet Set Radio, Hitman Absolutions, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, Bioshock Infinite, DMC, Borderlands 1 and 2, Grid 2, Metro Last Light. I mean, the list goes on and on about the good games that came out. And then all of a sudden, when PS4 comes out, the first free games were, Contrast and Resogun, which Resogun's a fun game. Contrast is okay, but we all want something more. Here we are, April 2016, and Sony hasn't really had anything big in terms of PlayStation Plus. Things like that. I mean, even the Vita is being crapped on as well. I mean, with a virus named Tom and Sashimi, I don't think anyone's really going to download that. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't know if anyone's going to download that. I mean, the Vita has had some pretty good games, and yet since for a while now, it just seems like not a lot of good stuff has came out. I mean, last month was Reality Fighters. I mean, who played that game? Nobody. Things like that. And so and I miss PS1 classics, on there's a since they stopped handing out PS Plus classics for free. So what Sony needs to do is that they need to step their game up. Games with Gold has been doing excellent, in terms of content that's free, for both 360 and Xbox One. For April, we have Dead Space and Saints Row 4 for Xbox 360, Sunset Overdrive and Wolf Among Us for Xbox One. And Xbox One has had great stuff that has came out for their free stuff. Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, Lords of the Fallen, of course, Sunset Overdrive. A lot of great stuff has came out, for, the Xbox One in terms of free stuff. And so, I don't know what Sony is doing, but, now I can pull up the games with gold list here. All right, so for the Xbox One, what they've released so far, and when it got really good. All right, so Rayman Legends, Child of Light, Assassin's Creed 4, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, Thief, which it's an okay game, Killer Instinct Season 1, Lords of the Fallen, Wolf Among Us, Sunset Overdrive. Pretty good stuff that they've been coming out. Sunset Overdrive came out, so we're in April 2016. Sunset Overdrive came out in October of 2014. So, a little over a year ago. Stuff like that. It's a fun game, too. I enjoyed it myself. And so what Sony needs to do is they just need to step up. They need to go back to the old ways of having 12 free games, 4 PS4, 4 PS3, 4 Vita. I know there's a lot of games on PS4 nowadays, things like that. So they need to do something. Release a AAA title, too, or something like that for PlayStation Plus. Even if it's Knack or Infamous Second Son, something like that. Something needs to be done. Sony. So I hope that Sony can get their act together, and I hope that they will listen, because there's a lot of angry people out there, and I hope they listen. And for those of you wondering, I'm not a fanboy. I own both an Xbox One, PS4, an Xbox 360, and PS3. So I own those consoles. So I'm not a fanboy. I'm all about having games. So hopefully, thank you for sticking around. If you have, let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what you would like to see on PlayStation Plus. If you want to see if you have any suggestions on what Sony should do, things like that. And so, thanks all for watching. If you like it, like this video, subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Arneezy619. You can also follow me on Twitter at Arneezy619 if you have any questions, things like that. So, thank you all for joining, and hope you guys have a